God. The MMA gods giveth and the MMA gods taketh away, eh? Alright, we're back. We're here, we're doing it, we're back. We're doing it, we're back. Alright, false start. That's okay. We go again. So weird, right? Yesterday, 7-hour stream, no bloody worries. No bloody worries at all. Today, crashes in the first 10 minutes. Anyway, well done, Eric. Well done. You got the shirt out again. Where's the gay times at? In the freezer, mate. That whole box of gay times that I bought for your birthday is still there. Where are the cousin pics at? Never coming. We missed you. I missed you guys. Marab beat Sean O'Malley, in case you didn't see. Marab did beat Sean O'Malley, Eric. Very true. This is number one bullshit, brother. Number one. True, mate. Yes. Marab beat O'Malley. Spivak beat Marcin Tybura. No, Spivak beat Waldo Ortiz Acosta. I still believe that. On God, on Crip, on Truth, on Mac, on everything on life. I still believe that Spivak won that fight. And Marab easily won round two. I don't know how you could have an argument for Sean O'Malley winning round two. It's bizarre to me. Ref stopped the fight early. Sean had him right where... How's this whistle on that? Sean O'Malley had him right where he bloody wanted him, mate. I don't think so, Nacho. I don't think so. So here's what's weird about it, right? I know we were just talking about Patchy Mix, but let's talk about Sean O'Malley for a minute. It's so strange. Sean came into this fight more prepared, more locked in, no injuries. Marab had the injury this time. Marab had the lot of activity from the Umar fight and fighting Sean O'Malley. Like, he's been busy. Marab is the one that had the broken toe, and Sean looked worse in this fight than he did in the first fight. Like, much worse in this fight than he did in the first fight. Sean regressed a lot. Sean's cooked. Properly cooked now. You know, they have to do him versus Petr Yan too at some point. But I guess Petr Yan's got McGee, so... What do you do with Sean O'Malley, right? I missed the Spivak fight. Should I watch it back? No, it's fat heavyweights, mate. There's no need to watch it back. I mean, if you enjoy fat heavyweights, Chris, you can watch it back. If that's sort of your thing, you can watch it back, but not really. I mean, it was very funny. Waldo Ortiz Acosta's shorts are he's so fat that his shorts ripped and his gut nearly took him over. In the first round, he threw a big meaty hook and his gut just kept moving. And he nearly took himself out with his own stomach. No gooning, no smoking. Healthy still got whooped. I know. Eric says, what did you just say? What did I just say? I don't know. What did I just say? The Pena fight should be overturned. The ref immediately taking a point. What's up, Toad? Good to see you, man. The Pena fight should be overturned. The ref immediately taking a point. It was a criminal action and should be criminally sanctioned. More refs should take points straight away. The second you grab a fence, the second you poke someone in the eye, the second you upkick someone, there should be points taken away straight away. I love that the ref took the point straight away, Nacho. I'm happy with it. Nacho, it's time to kill the Juliana Pena meme. It's time to let it die. Juliana Pena is in the top 5 worst UFC belt holders of all time. She is a truly horrible mixed martial artist. Glad the entire MMA community agrees with me that we should allow Marab to victimize Nerdhagen. Yes, no one is fighting against that, Toad. No one is fighting uphill against that one. Yes, everyone says we should allow Marab to victimize Nerdhagen. Has anyone seen or heard any whispers from around the MMA community today of anyone thinking that Nerdhagen can get it done over Marab? What's up, Not the Aim, bro? Good to see you back, brother. Good to see you, dude. Hope you're well, man. He needs to rematch Yan, but he's probably going to, but if not, probably move up. Yeah, he probably will move up, won't he? But I don't know, dude. Kind of like his career is in jeopardy now, right? I was also thinking like kickboxing in general is in jeopardy. I've been thinking about the stances a lot, the kickboxing stance versus the boxing stance, and how Dustin Poirier and his boxing stance and Ilia Topuria being so low to the ground and JDM being so curled up and low. I think kickboxing is dying in the meta of MMA, like seriously dying in the meta of MMA. I think in MMA striking, you've got to have a much tighter boxing stance where your center of gravity is lower and your hands are a little bit lower so you can get your underhooks in. Yeah, I've been mulling over, like, the death of kickboxing. Do you enjoy fat men? Yep. Yeah, I know meta's come and go, Nacho, but I think the kickboxing meta, like, I think we're at the end of the life cycle and we're getting into, like, a new hybrid boxing MMA life cycle now. Like, I'm trying to think of the right way to articulate this so I can make a video, but I feel like the boxing stance with counter grappling is coming up. You know, I think we're in a shifting phase here, mate. The Pena love will never end. The Pena love has to end. Spivak, Rob, Mix, destroyed, O'Malley, overrated, and a bloody quitter. All true, not the AM, bro. All true, dude. All true. I don't switch up on people when they lose, unlike most fake fan. Well, I was a fake Juliana Pena fan. I came into UFC 316 talking about how she's one of the worst people to ever touch a UFC belt. What's up, Chedhead? T-shirt update, please, Chedhead. I came in to UFC 316 talking about how she's one of the worst people to ever hold an MMA belt. I rode the wave with you because I thought we on the channel could have some fun together. It's now time to put the toys back in the box and admit the truth. Juliana Pena is, without a doubt, one of the most disgusting MMA fighters to ever touch a UFC belt. Did you see Guru's lovely crash-out reaction to the Merab win? I did. It was good stuff. I went back and watched it last night. Yeah, it was good stuff. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Cooking with Volk, starring Merab, episode 420, barbecued O'Malley with fresh goon juice, mate. Exactly, Mr. C. Exactly, dude. Oh my god, he's done. O'Malley just got... Like, you can't have any excuses on this. You can't have any excuses on this at all. Merab had a different game plan of just marauding forward with zero respect for O'Malley's power. So it was more dominant, and O'Malley mentally broke even quicker this time. He did, dude. He did. And also, like, O'Malley's power is a bit of a myth, right? Like, he's had I think it's one clean knockout, and the rest have all been TKOs. The rest have all been TKOs. Even the Aljo fight. Like, yes, Aljo face planted, right? Face down, ass up. That's the way we like to. Even Aljo face planted, but Aljo stayed in the fight and was doing a lot of scrambling. So even Aljo wasn't like a clean knockout. Like, the one-punch knockout power of Sean O'Malley is purely propaganda from the UFC. It doesn't actually exist. It's fugazi. Doesn't actually exist. There's one clean knockout on his career. I'm pretty sure it's just one. Dana needed this rematch so bad, and nobody else wanted it. Sean could have made a good run of solid wins and then gotten the rematch with the Goblin. But no, they had to do it right away for him. I know, Chris, and that's the other thing, right? You could have had O'Malley's career stay where it is at bantamweight, gone through a couple of easy fights, like 2 or 3 easy fights, and allow Merab Dvalishvili to do a couple of defenses with other contenders, maybe get injured, maybe lose to someone, maybe a bit of an easier matchup for O'Malley. Like, the UFC really just, like, fed their superstar to the wolves way too quickly, all just for the hopes of a quick turnaround. It was sad to see. The Strikers a couple of years ago used their distant management to avoid takedowns, but now we see guys like JDM who use forward pressure and threats up the middle and level changes to prevent takedowns. Yes, they do, but it's completely different completely different, mate. They're completely different things. The Strikers a couple of years ago managed distance. You are right, through kickboxing. Because kickboxing karate stance is a very long, flowy stance. It's very nice for range control and controlling distance. However, you got to get impact and damage on the board. So you can't just teep and jab and hope to win the decision. You've actually got to be proactive against the wrestler and put damage out against him. So that way, what you actually want to do is close up that stance, which is where the boxing stance comes into the meta, and start attacking the wrestler and be ready for the takedowns. I think kickboxing in 2025 is, like, Nacho's right. Metas come and go. They cycle in and out. But I think in 2025, open stance, range control kickboxing is dead. I really think it's dead. I think with how good MMA grappling has gotten, if you're going to be a striker, you need to be a boxer. A boxer. What's up, Lane? Good to see you. You need to be a boxer to attack the wrestler. What's up, Kyle? How are you, dude? Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Kyle. Good to see you, man. I hope you're well, dude. Where am I at? Let's go Rolston Stoltzfus in the UFC so we can watch Merab get a spinning back fist KO. Wait, hang on. KO against a black dude in round 1. The hype would be built. Why would the hype be built around this one, mate? Why, Mr. C? Why? Now it looks like the end of Sean's career. At only 30 years old, I don't see him winning a belt or going up a division. It's only big fights for him now, though, really. Yeah, it's so strange. So I saw MMA on point, right? MMA on point, which Tim thinks MMA on point are UFC shills. I don't think MMA on point are UFC shills at all. I think they're very, very critical of the UFC. So I wouldn't call them shills at all. Has fucking bookmarks moved? Where's the bookmarks button gotten? Oh, they've moved the bookmark button. Oh, that's good of them. Yeah, right. So MMA on point brought this up, and I think it's a poignant question. Is Sean O'Malley big enough of a star to main event a pay-per-view without a belt on the line? I don't think he is, dude. I don't think he is. Like, I don't really think Sean O'Malley is big enough of a star to be given the treatment that he's already been given for the UFC. This Sean O'Malley experiment that has gone on by the UFC ever since the Piotr Jan fight, it has to stop. The Sugar Show thing, it has to stop. He's not a star. We did the embedded numbers. He's not as big of a star as John Jones is. We saw that, even with the Sphere being part of the show at UFC 306. He's not as much of a star as Islam Makhachev is. We've checked his numbers together live on the stream. You guys have seen us do the maths. He's not the star that the UFC think he is. Time to, properly start creating a career for him. Stop giving him easy layups and resting him for a year and getting the champ to do a short turnaround. And no, the answer to this, MMA on point, is no. I don't think Sean O'Malley can hold an event on his own completely the entire time. What's up, bro? Good to see you, dude. It has been a while. Didn't see you over the weekend, man. Did you watch the card? Let me read some chats. Just big fights now, really. Yep. Appreciate you, Kyle. What's up, Lane? Good to see you. I think it's a bit premature to write Sean's career up. So what do you see, Operation Save Sean O'Malley's career, Nacho? Next 3 fights. We got to get 3 wins on the board for Sean O'Malley. We need 3 wins on the board for Sean O'Malley, Nacho. What do you see? How do you see it going? Let's not write off his career entirely, fair enough. But we do need to rebuild the kid. So what are we doing next with Sean O'Malley? You're his manager. How are we doing things? How are we moving things around on the chessboard for O'Malley? After seeing Mix look like he was on drugs because of his reaction time, I went back and watched his previous 2 fights, and he always had delayed reaction, just not at this level. Basically, if he doesn't get his grappling going, he's going to lose on the feet. There you go, not the aim, bro. All right, nice. Yeah, I don't know what to say, really, about Mix. I think it's very good to look like a high-level MMA fighter when you're fighting in a... not even regional. It's the B leagues. It's the world B leagues, Bellator and PFL are the world B leagues. And it's very good to rise to the top of that because there isn't a lot going on there. There is also something else to be said, yes, you're winning championships at Bellator, but the division isn't as deep. You look at what Bautista has had to do in his 8 fights. 8 fights in the UFC. The UFC bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight divisions. Look at these fighters that have to go through 7, 6, 5-fight winning streaks in the UFC. The UFC division, when it's a good division, a strong division, welterweight, featherweight, bantamweight, lightweight, these divisions are deep, and it's a fucking meat grinder of talent. Do not tell me there are guys inside the UFC lightweight division outside of the top 15 that can't get a win over Gaethje, Poirier, Chandler today. It's insane, man. O'Malley's takedown defense looked great technique-wise, but his body is frail. He's a soy boy. He got out-muscled badly, like I've been saying all build-up. Very true. What's up? Been a long time. Yep. Vegas can build a new hotel after that Patchy Mix loss. Everyone's parlay got busted. Not eyes, Cheddarhead. Not eyes. I never thought that he would win that. Yeah, I saw that Sean got destroyed exactly how I thought it was going to be. Even standing up, he lost to Merab. Merab outstruck him. Yep, absolutely right, dude. What the UFC should have done is made Jan O'Malley 2 before giving him the undeserved title shot. I agree, not the aim, bro. And then maybe hoped that Merab lost the belt someplace, not giving him Merab again. Sean should go up to 145 and get slept by Gene Silver. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's not going to be good. What's up, Miguel? Good to see you, dude. Ran through him. But Dougie, Sean O'Malley's theme song is "You're a Superstar. If you are what you say you are." Yeah. He isn't. He isn't a superstar. If he beats Izzy and Baralho, he can get a shot if Drickus loses the belt to Hamzat. Oh, Sean O'Malley. I'm so high. Yeah. Yeah, we weren't talking about... I don't know who you're talking about, Cheddarhead. I don't know who you're talking about, Cheddarhead. Who are you talking about? If he beats Izzy and Baralho, he can get a shot if Drickus loses the belt to Hamzat. If he beats Izzy and Baralho, he can get a shot of Drickus. Oh, you're talking about Sean Strickland. No, we're talking about Sean O'Malley, Nacho. You know, the fight from yesterday? Yeah, it's all right, mate. Let Sean KO Cejudo. Okay. Then Figgy. Then give him Yarn or Sainhagen, and he'll be ready to have another crack at the belt. I think he can win all those fights. Yes, Nacho's right. Manager Nacho is right. Sean O'Malley's manager... I think Sean O'Malley is self-managed, right? I don't think he believes in managers. Nacho's right. Give him Cejudo, then give him Figgy, give him the Yarn or Sandhagen rematch, especially Sandhagen if he's on the way down, and then go from there. Yeah, Nacho, that's a good one. Yeah, his career isn't written off yet. Just does need some adjustment. Patchy doesn't deserve to be booed, in my opinion. Why not, Lane? He was talking some pretty big shit. Hey, fellas. What's up, Paul? How are you, man? Do you think anyone can beat Marab? Not right now. No, we don't have that person right now. No, not right now. No. Bautista is going to be the next one up, I think. I think Sandhagen's going to lose. I think they'll do the Umar rematch after Sandhagen. I think Bautista is going to be the next one up. Bautista. It's so crazy, the storyline of MMA. Bautista has now become Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope. And he was just hated by the fans. 48 hours ago, the fans wanted to see Bautista's head cut off. And my long-term prediction is that Mario Bautista is... It's going to go Sandhagen, it's going to go Umar again. And then maybe by then, Bautista will be the next one up. People keep picking Batista's opponent. People keep picking... Where am I at? Buckley is knocking Usman out. He is, Miguel. We're going with Buckley. People keep picking Batista's opponent name value and aura, so I keep nailing the picks off actually looking at the dude's skill set. True. That's what happens in a lot of MMA picks, Toad. Yep. Speaking of O'Malley's walkout song, I don't know who the fuck you think he is coming out to God Bless the USA. Why can't he come out to God Bless the USA? Sean. Marab has beaten every single style of fighter now. He wins everything, at least 3 fights until Uma comes back around. Sean's coach seems like a bit of a leech too. While I'm at it, Tim Welch. Why do you think Tim Welch is a bit of a leech, mate? Celibate Sean is the most mythical fighter ever. It is, Lane. Very true. And it did nothing either. Celibate Sean did nothing for Sean. Marab is the Volk to O'Malley's Holloway if Holloway was queer. Marab is the Volk to O'Malley's Holloway. This is very true, Mr. C. Very true. Although, Holloway had a really good career, Like, Holloway was clearly the best featherweight. But it was just because of Volk. I don't know if O'Malley is the best bantamweight, except for Marab. Again, the Piotr Jan fight was super close. I think Piotr Jan won that fight. Like, was Sean O'Malley fraud checked? You got the Jan fight, right? Which I think Jan won. Before that, he won a fight via eye poke somehow. Before that was Chris Martinez. Yes, he knocked out Aljamain Sterling, but Aljamain Sterling was on a 6-week turnaround from his last fight. Then he got Cheeto Vera again. Cheeto Vera's a fucking nobody. Cheeto Vera's a fucking scrub. He's a scrub. He's a fucking scrub. Cheeto Vera shouldn't have been fighting for a title. He never should have fought Sean O'Malley for the title. Like, Sean O'Malley's a top 5, absolutely. Like, you can't make it close with Piotr Jan and not be a top 5 bantamweight. Sean O'Malley's absolutely a top 5 bantamweight. Absolutely. But is Sean O'Malley Max Holloway? No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is, dude. Give O'Malley the Yadong Font winner. No need to baby a former champ. And he probably beats both. Yeah, fair enough. I'm not saying Umar wins. I'm just saying he's the only real champ. Yeah, fair enough. Yep. You can't hate on the Marab performance. It was probably his most exciting fight of his career. No, I'm not hating on the Marab performance. No, not at all. Dougie is going to have a Mario Batista shirt by next strip. Well, I think Mario Batista is... I'm not saying Mario Batista can beat Marab. I'm just saying Mario Batista is going to be the next one up, I think. Do you think Marab is on something? His cardio is insane? No, I don't think he is. I I think he just is actually one of the athletes that's giving it 1,000%, giving it 100%. I think he's one of the athletes that's just going for it, man. The riots are happening outside my apartment. I'm bunkered in with a fridge full of sausages and a table covered with cookies and wheat. Very good, Cheddarhead. Very good. You need to treat it like Exodus or something. Like, just put a Mexican flag up over your front door and just hope they pass you by. Yo, 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 what's up in the hippity apps? What's up, Larry? Good to see you, dude. I hope you're well, man. Still my agent. Appreciate it. No, because O'Malley loses to Jan, Batista, and Uma, but the UFC will never allow him to fight any of them. No, because O'Malley loses to Jan, Batista, and Uma, but the UFC will never allow him to fight any of them. They'll let him fight Jan again because that'll sell tickets. So I think the Jan fight will happen, yeah. O'Malley's character is already super cringe. Him pretending he's like an American patriot made it worse. It was an insult for him thinking he could use that song. His character is super cringe, yeah. I don't think he's pretending to be an American patriot. I think he might. I mean, he might be. He might be. Or he was just trying to get a pop from the crowd because he knew that Trump was in the building. But he might be an American patriot. You never know, dude. He seems very Republican, even though he lets his wife get fucked by other people. It's odd, isn't it? It's an odd world we live in, isn't it? Holloway had some damn close fights too. Arnold Allen and Yair, for example. I don't think the Arnold Allen fight was close for Holloway. I don't think that one was close. Glazing Batista for beating a nobody Patchy Mix and a washed up Alger. It's not that, Nacho. Like, again, I didn't say I think Batista can beat Merab. I think he's going to be the next challenge that we can see grow into it, right? Because, like, I don't think Umar's going to be able to change too much more to beat Merab. I don't know what Umar's going to be able to change too much more. I think Merab just outworked Umar, is better than Umar. Sandhagen, I don't see beating Merab either. But by the time those two fights happen, Merab is going to be 35, getting towards 36. That's when Batista is going to be the next one up to fight him. Do you know what I mean, Nacho? It's just the way that I'm, like, seeing the division flow. I'm seeing it go to, like, Bautista is the guy that the hype's going to get built around. And it's just so fucking ironic as well, you know? But that doesn't mean I think Batista's going to beat Merab. I just see that as, like, the next what-if fight. And even that is, like, 2 or 3 title fights away from Merab. Merab's definitely on that good Georgian sauce. All right. Lol at gatekeeping patriotism. I know, it's very strange, isn't it? Sean is so skinny for his division, but he doesn't have enough power to go up weight classes. Yeah. You'd have to picture, like, how is Sean O'Malley going to go in a fight between Diego Lopez, between Gene Silva? You know, Gene Silva is going to put fucking pain on Sean O'Malley, right? Apologies to Dougie in the chat for getting Patchy and Mario mixed up. Even said Batista was bleeding. What fight were you guys watching? Service issues, I told you. Yeah, you're all good, Tim. You're all good, dude. It happens, dude. It's all good, man. You're all good, dude. I get it. What's up, NME? How are you, dude? EPO, he's on the sauce. Dougie has Mario Batista as his new GOAT, 100%. Yeah, let's crack open the GOAT list and pull a Lucas Tracy. Where do you really see Mario Batista on the GOAT list, guys? Maybe he's the new GOAT. No, we're not going that crazy with it, mate. We're not going crazy with it. Now, what we usually do after the fights is crack open the pound for pound list, right? We usually crack open the pound for pound list and make some changes after a big pay-per-view because that's when we see some movement in the pound for pound list. But here's the funny thing, right? I don't think beating Sean O'Malley the way that he beat Sean O'Malley moves Merab up the pound for pound list at all. It was such a nothing victory for Merab. Like, does it get him any extra legacy? Minimally. He's absolutely the bantamweight GOAT. No ifs, buts, or maybes. But I don't think it moves him up the pound-for-pound list at all. Sean O'Malley wasn't even on my pound-for-pound list. It's so strange. Like, nothing really changed with yesterday's pay-per-view. Even though it did solidify. Like, this isn't a GOAT conversation. This is a who's in the pound-for-pound today. And Merab came in at number 8, and I think he goes out at number 8. I'll be interested to see tomorrow where the actual official rankings land him, because the actual official pound for pound rankings are always a mess. But yeah, surprised none of the casuals in here standing for Cheeto right now as someone who could maybe beat Merab. Well, I don't think Woeful's in here right now, Larry. If Woeful was in here, he'd be going in for Cheeto hard. Can't stand Sean and bag him for being a fuck. But 15 to 20 years ago, if you were in an open relationship, it was admired as a base of honor, especially in Melbourne. Depends what communities you're in, Tim. You know, I don't even think 20 years ago, man. I don't think in the early 90s, setting up coffee dates for your mate to come and fuck your wife was admired as a base of honor. I don't think that's ever in any culture been admired as a base of honor. I think there have been some open relationship where like a dude has a harem and several girlfriends. That's like, you know, that's bragging rights for men. But yeah, I don't think there's ever been a culture where like, oi, bro, you want to come round and fuck my wife? I don't think that's ever been a thing. Don't move him. O'Malley didn't deserve a rematch. Merab was expected to win. No, I don't think it does move him at all, man. I don't think it does move him at all. I love GSP, but man, Mario the Marauder might GSP, he's high up on the list, but damn, Mario Batista, what a marauder. I'm going to have to move Mario Batista above GSP. You know, I'm thinking Mario Batista might be above Anderson Silva. I'm going to have to move him up above Anderson Silva. I will not be associated with in any sort of way. The guy has 69 tattooed on his head in tribute to a man. I agree. Not the aim, bro. I completely agree with you. Doesn't mean that he doesn't love his country, though. You know? Doesn't mean that he doesn't love his country. Cooking with Dillashaw featuring Merab, episode 1. Mexican beef with EPO sauce on the side. No, we're not having Mexican beef anymore. Get ice down here. Get that shit out of here. No more selling tacos in the corners anymore. California is going to be hot dogs only. It's only going to be hot dogs and burgers and chips. No more Mexican stands on the side. Get them out. No one make people cope like Merab. He made both Guru and Joey's side of the fan base cope hard. What is Joey's side coping about? What is Joey's side count? Oh, the Umar fight? They're coping about the Umar fight? I mean, Umar just looked like he didn't have the pace of... He succumbed. This is what's so funny about the Umar-Merab fight. Umar lost because his cardio gave out. He couldn't keep pushing against Merab. And then he said, I had a broken hand. Bro, your lungs aren't in your fucking hand, cunt. Like, you ran out of air. Last time I fucking checked, I don't have lungs in my hands. Sandhagen is going to get killed, I reckon, Cheddarhead, yeah. Lane, what's up? How'd you go yesterday? Patchy took all my winnings, and then Merab sub put me up by only $100. Live betting took all the parlay winning. There you go. Sorry to hear it, Timmy boy. Merab versus Volk. I like Volk in the scrambles. I think Volk will be able to get back up onto his feet. I think if Merab wants to play the stand and striking game with Volk, because Volk has had so much confidence in fighting Islam Makhachev and training for Ilia Topuria, and we have Craig Jones in Australia, the anti-grappler's grappler, I'd be picking Volk for that one. Usman versus Buckley is going to be such a good fucking fight. I agree, Pablo. I completely agree, mate. Merab versus Movzar 2026. Maybe, Cheddarhead. But wife, bro, wife, but girlfriend, but wife, but girlfriend, but wife, but girlfriend. For wife, not girlfriend. No, never, ever has it been acceptable, even in the 90s, to have mates come around and fuck your girlfriend. No, that's not acceptable. That's not cool. That's not a medal of honor. Where is Merab on the pound for pound list now? We didn't move him, not the AM, bro. We didn't move him on the pound for pound list. Didn't move him at all. I heard Sandhagen read Sun Tzu's Art of War for the 12th time. He finally found the correct mindset for big wins. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Sandhagen did destroy Davidson Figueiredo's kneecap on purpose. How many defenses does Merab need to become the pound-for-pound number one? Showbiz, for me, it's not going to be about how many defenses he gets. It's about the skill set that he starts to show. Because I like my pound for pound to be a little bit of skills mixed in with a little bit of legacy. Merab has definitely got good legacy building up. He is the best bantamweight of all time. I don't deny that. But pound for pound skill set, I mean, he just weaponizes cardio. Yes, he added in a nice submission, but I'd like to see a little bit more. Yes, he outstruck O'Malley. Maybe there is an argument to move Merab up. He just outstruck O'Malley and got a submission. He did add layers to his game, right? Maybe there is an argument. I mean, we saw new skills from Merab, right? I don't know, man. Merab did show further improvement. Here we go. Larry's saying that. I don't know, man. Merab did show further improvement and an elevation of his game, beating a fully healthy Sean and far more dominantly than beating a Torm Labrum Sean. I think he gets points just for showing that he's better he was last time that we saw him. I agree. Yeah. Damage depletes a gas tank? No. Damage depletes a gas tank? No. Yeah, damage does deplete your gas tank. Absolutely, enemy. Umar versus Sean next, or Sean versus Henry. I like the Sean versus Henry. I like that a lot. Joey's still crying about Umar losing months later. Never seen a fighter so consistently make every side of the sandbase cry. Yeah, Merab is very good at that. Merab's very good at just fucking annoying everyone that he goes in there with. When is Thick Boy Thickness, Kobe Thickness returning? No idea, dude. I would say probably in Perth. I would guess. Showbiz Stories. When are we doing Perth in Australia? I think that's September, mate. Yeah. There are no humans picking Usman because you logically can't, right? Logically you can, though, Val. Usman looks really good in his last 3 losses. You know? This is a big step up for Buckley. I'll tell you what, Val. If this fight was happening 5 months after the Chimaev fight, I might be considering picking Usman. I might pick Usman if this was happening 5 months after the Chimaev fight. Now, to happen almost a year and a half, 2 years after the Chimaev fight, Usman's cooked. Too much time on the side bench talking shit with Henry Cejudo. But if this was Buckley now versus the Usman that we saw during the Chimaev fight, 3 months, 4 months later, I might be picking Usman. Patchy killed my parlay, but Merab turned it around for me. Good to know you got some wins back on the board there, Lane. I don't like Merab at all, but number 8 is crazy. Where would you have him, Cheddarhead? Where would you move him up? I mean, Larry's right. We did see new improvements from Merab. We did indeed. In my opinion, Ilya is the best fighter in the world right now. Maybe. We haven't seen this mythical jiu-jitsu that we hear about from Ilya. Whereas Tom hasn't even beaten Garn. Cheers, guy. What's up, William? Good to see you, dude. Sorry, it's just the way we read the chat one at a time. Whereas John Jones isn't an active fighter. John Jones doesn't get to go on the pound-for-pound list. John Jones is a duck. John Jones is not in the pound-for-pound list. He can suck my dick. Merab has a weird way of making people believe he's going to lose while also showing his opponent never had a chance while still making the fight wildly close on the judging criteria. Yeah, well, it's because he's not doing a lot of damage, Toad. So the judging, impact-based judging, damage-based judging, Merab does make it look close because he's not doing a lot of damage. You know what I mean? He's winning points on the board. He's not doing a lot of damage. So, yeah, that's why they all look so close, right? Until they don't. Usman's physique has completely changed since his prime. Yes, as it should. He's an older man now. Absolutely. You got to look at the point that Umar is Russian and Sean reps Ireland sometimes. Could be a hype fight to get Conor involved. I don't think Conor will give a shit about that fight. Umar versus Ireland, yeah, that will get the Russians fired up for sure. That'll get the Muslims fired up for sure. But I don't think Sean leans enough into the Irish side to get the Irish fired up. Not late 90s, bros, 20s, the Revolver, Viper Lounge, Pill Party Scene, the women were called 1-1000s, Lifetime Partner. Yeah, but that's you're talking about, like, I know what you're talking about. You are talking about just the ecstasy scene in the early 2000s. That's proper degeneracy. You're like, this again isn't like a bump on the shoulder. Like, this isn't a slap on the back. You are talking about the peak of MDMA-based degeneracy. It's not a proud thing to have your girlfriend passed around a fucking bathroom at the Viper Lounge. It's not a proud thing at all. Dude, John fought more recently than Tom. It's like playing whack-a-mole with all these haters in the comments. That's all right, Will. That's all right. You don't have to agree with me, mate. But I'm telling you, I'm not putting John Jones on my pound-for-pound list. He's a drug-cheating, inactive fucking duck, mate. How is he inactive when he fought more recently? That's very simple. I just simply don't give a fuck about John Jones. I'm not putting him on my pound-for-pound list. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck his fans. Anyone that is still backing John Jones or making excuses for John Jones is fucking insane to me. The dude refuses to fight the number 1 contender, will only fight the 4-year retired Stipe Miocic, thinks calling out Francis Ngannou looks cool when he knows he can't fight him. John Jones is an embarrassment, and anyone defending John Jones or being a John Jones fan is embarrassing to me. I get like secondhand embarrassment from those people. How they can still back John Jones in any way. What's up, Feral Florida man? How are you, dude? I could see Buckley Usman being a boring decision where Buck moves around and taps kicks. He's scared to lose a close distance because of the wrestling and the jab. I don't reckon so, Toad. I reckon Buckley's very forward pressured these days. I think Buckley knows you need to make noise to get a title shot. I think welterweight is hotly fucking contested right now, and Buckley understands the assignment. So I don't know, dude. I don't agree. I don't agree, Todathan. When Sean O'Malley was saying good omens would secure him victory, I prayed that God would shut down all sorts of divination and occult in inflicting the result of this fight. Well, it didn't seem to help him at all, did it, Cayman? When Sean was saying good omens would secure him the victory. Yeah, he was doing everything he could. He was ticking every single box that he could. I don't know where he was praying to. Cayman, I know you're someone that thinks about the styles of fights the same way that I do. I think kickboxing's dying. I think kickboxing in the UFC is dying. I can't believe Merab killed Sean O'Malley. Now we can say stuff like, oh, Merab is going to take this guy's life. Yeah, now that Merab can actually get a finish. Most damage he did was the last fight. Sean had several bruises on his face. He should work more elbows in the guard. I agree, Showbiz. I agree. It was his most devastating fight so far. Watch Usman come back older but with 100% knees. Yes, like he's been getting stem cell injections. Maybe, mate. O'Malley should move up to flyweight. How do you think he would go against Diego Lopez, Cayman? Why am I getting ads for neck bumps? I don't know, Feral Florida man. What have you been doing? What have you been clicking on? Can you do a poll in chat if chat would want Alexa Grasso to give them a foot job? No, Yog, I won't. Good to see you, Yogathan. I hope you're good, dude. How are you, man? Good to see you. John Jones is claiming he'll fight Francis Ngannou. I know, it's pathetic. People who defend a sexual abusing wife being Roy Cheat Ducks are down bad people. Yes, I don't understand them at all. I don't get them at all. I really don't get them at all. I don't get anyone supporting John Jones in any way at all in big 2025. It's very weird to me. Piotr would never get finished by Merab of all people. That is certain as fuck. Piotr would never get finished by Merab of all people. That is certain as fuck. If Merab is adding submission... If now that Merab's game is advanced to such a point, Val... If he is adding submissions while people are trying to scramble out of his guard, who knows, dude? Maybe that's what he's working on. John Bone Jones is the past. The sport has moved on. Exactly. He's a Roy. Dana doesn't want his boyfriend to move on. Very true. If you're Dana, you should do everything in your power to resign Francis to spite John Jones. He'd win over the fans for that. Yes, he would. And I'm going to make a video. Tomorrow's video is going to be about Dana White's press conference. Wednesday's video is going to be about the path that I see for Francis Ngannou legitimately and really coming back to the UFC within 2 years. I believe it can happen. I'm going to lay that out for you guys on Wednesday's video. Tomorrow's video will be the breaking down the Dana White press conference. The way Dana totally disregarded the petition is disgusting. That'll be in tomorrow's video as well. Feral Florida man. Yeah, feral bastard. Fucking have a shower, cunt. Why are you so fucking feral, mate? Have a shower. You know? Use some fucking deodorant. What are you, Indian? No, you're Floridian. Stand up for yourself. Booby's ego is too massive. True. I think as we talked about before, you can't just purely wrestle or purely strike. Plus also physically, the physical strength is so underrated. True. Sean's occult shit almost worked. Merab almost crushed during the walk. Yeah, the stadium nearly collapsed in on Merab. That was the only way Sean was going to win, as if Merab got squished by the fans. Even then, Merab would still bounce out of there. Hey, it's okay, guys. I can still fight. It's just a broken toe. Dana said no pay-per-view in September. Seems like the UFC is leaving ESPN. I think the UFC is going crawling back to ESPN, Shedderhead. I think the UFC is going crawling back to ESPN. Why do you think they're leaving, dude? I don't think they are. It's because John Jones is black. I don't think it is, man. I don't think it is. Like, Mighty Mouse is the greatest fighter of all time. If you are just a fan of John Jones because he looks like you, Mighty Mouse is the best fighter of all time. He is also a black man. He has also never been busted for cheating steroids. He's never cheated on his wife. He's a good father. He continues to this day in jiu-jitsu. Like, he's a fucking great role model. I don't think that's what it is. I don't know why anyone backs up John Jones. I think Merab needs a KO. Yeah, to help raise him up the pound-for-pound list a little bit. MMHA does a job of addressing how effectively physical strength is in killing takedown defense or making it really hard to take down defense if you're a lot weaker. Yeah, I can imagine that, dude. I can imagine that because it does all come down to controlling the other person's body up against the cage. Well, that's where you got to get your judo tosses in if you haven't got the physical strength advantage. I hope Buckley KO's pharmacist dad Usman, but I don't see it. You got Usman by decision. Interesting one, Tim. I'm going to be going with Buckley. O'Malley clearly planned to pressure forward as he tried during the start of the first and second, but the takedown threat and the overhand stopped his game plan quickly. Yes, they did. He shut him down. Shut him down with the pressuring forward by just fucking bouncing in. Like, Merab does a very weird feint. Like, he'll fake step in and then dance back out. And then he'll fake step in and then dance back out. And then he'll shoot a takedown and then pull back out. And then this time he'll crash right and it will be an actual proper overhand. Dougie, how much do you go swimming in a week? I don't go swimming. I go to the gym in the mornings. I go to the gym every morning and then I might go for a run. You know. Wario is the most dangerous contender for Merab. Wario? Mario Batista? He could be. Yeah, he could be. What's up, Jesus? Merab is a force of nature. I hope it doesn't come out juicing. I hope it doesn't come out that he's juicing and his ability is God-given. Timmy reckons Merab is juiced up to the gills, but I'm not so sure anymore. I think we should refresh ourselves on the scoring criteria definition of impact. In the first few fights, Merab has shown a serious talent for separating himself from his opponent on the scorecards. By most standards, it's actually a close fight. I feel like that's what we were just talking about, Larry. Like, Merab doesn't do a lot to show a lot of visual impact. That's why the fights look close. Is that what you're saying? John Jones is a perfect influence to the young ones. He's a horrible, horrible fucking influence to them. They should follow Mighty Mouse. Demetrius Johnson, black man. Anderson Silva is a black man. George St. Pierre is a black man. Isn't it about race? George St. Pierre is not a black man, but yes. Many of the GOATs are black. I don't think it's about race. I don't know why people back up John Jones. I really don't. I was watching a boxing fan video reacting to MMA and it showed Jones lifting heavy weights and he was like, MMA fighters lift heavy weights. I'm thinking, well, yeah, you do have to move a body when you grapple. Islam also lifts heavy weights. Even Aspinall said he squats 550 pounds. DDP also lifts heavy weights. Yeah, I think if you're an MMA fighter, deadlifts and squats should be part of your weekly routine. You are trying to pick up another human being and throw them around. Like, yeah, you should be. Oh, fuck it. I mean, yeah, again, if you have a cock and two balls, you should be doing squats and deadlifts. There's just no ifs, buts, or maybes. Like, you are a man. Behave like it. Act like it. Be a man. Like, wake up and pick up the heavy circle and put it back down again. Do it at least 3 times a week. At an hour at a time. Bench press, squats, deadlifts, pull-ups. Yeah, that's what you should be doing. I don't think Merab is exceptional wrestler, but his judo background helps him with the trips and the sweeps. Yeah, that's all he has to do. Just cling on to you with his little fucking gremlin strength, and then just tip you as much as he can. Mighty Mouse is not black enough for those guys. You feel me? Mighty Mouse is definitely black enough. Definitely. He looks... I don't think he does, dude. Merab has very good feints, and he almost always his opponent reacting to them. Yeah, because they are so shit scared of them taking him down. And again, like, that's where the rangy kickboxer... You know, Toad, when I was doing my play-by-play yesterday, calling the fight, I kept talking about where the black line was. I was describing the fight as where the black line is around the outside of the cage. Because the rangy kickboxer who wants to point strike and stay away from the outside, the moment that that black line is underneath their front foot, it's fucking over for them. It's over for them. All it takes now is a bit of forward pressure and they're getting taken down. Boxers, again, the boxing stance, they can get in a lot closer and have their center of gravity dropped, and they're ready to go in for the underhooks and handle it. So they don't bite on the feints as much. You know, they dip into it. That's what JDM took that. It's like I saw it with Dustin Poirier, I saw it with Ilya Topuria, and then I saw JDM perfect it. And I think that, if you're a striker, is the new meta now. You're always talking about swimming in the ocean by your place. Oh, in summer, yeah, but it's I guess it's just snapped over to winter in the last, like, month. So that's completely fallen off. But over the summer, which went quite late, like, up until last month, I was still jumping in there. But now it's cold as shit, so I'm not jumping in there. Yeah, I know, Chris. Yep. Has Sandhagen ever bench pressed in his life? His pecs are it doesn't look like it, no. UFC trying to speed run through 2025, no pay-per-view card in September, and Dana said we're going to find out this summer who the new deal is. 319 is 8-6, and UFC 320 is a 10 out of 4. UFC 319 is 8-16, and UFC 320 is 10 out of 4. I don't know what you mean, Shadowhead. Going to a mate's for drinks and dinner. Have a good one. See you, Nacho. Good on you, mate. Best mod in the world. Enjoy dinner with the boys. Enjoy some drinks, mate. You think they're... Okay, Eric, shut the fuck. Fucking hell. Oh, God. O'Malley said he's been hitting the gym. He probably has been doing curls or some sort of Gen Z style workout that builds muscle. No, the old school way is the way. Compound movement is king for building actual athletic strength. That's what I'm saying. It is like you're bench pressing, you're deadlifting, you're squatting, you're doing sled runs. So like just loading up the sled with shit tons of weight and fucking sprinting up and down the track. This is the movement for MMA. Some new trendy tricep pull down, whatever it is. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. It's the human body. The human body has never changed. The human body doesn't change. There's not a new fucking secret workout routine every 6 months in the bodybuilding Instagram world. That's all fucking retarded bullshit just to sell you a new program. The human body's been exactly the same since... God pulled Eve from our fucking chest. It is what it is. You pick up heavy shit and put it back down again for an hour, 3 times a week. It's not hard. He's probably going to book Nunes versus Harrison main event for November MSG. I think that is going to be, Cheddarhead, the January card in Canada main event. That's what I think it's going to be. Because they always have trouble getting fighters to cut weight over the Christmas break. So they'll just be like, girls, you're going to main event the start of the year. It's the big show, the start of the year. Girls, you're going to main event it. So I think Canada is going to get fucked in the ass by a women's main event super fight. And because it's a super fight, they can put it at the top of the bill. Do you think other Tapuria is anything special? He can move the needle in bantamweight, obviously, not fight Merab. Do you think other Tapuria is anything special? He can move the needle in bantamweight, obviously, he's not fighting Merab. Don't know what you mean, Showbiz, sorry. Rangy kickboxers keep losing the distance management battle to wrestlers as they keep getting pressured to the cage. That's right, Toad. And again, that's why when I was making my call, I pointed out like the black line so much. Because that black line is life and death for a rangy kickboxer. It's fucking life and death for them. Lorenzo predicts that he's on his way to KO you right now. Good on Lorenzo predicts. What a fucking top cunt. UFC 319, August 6th. UFC 320 is December. Oh, right. I'm with you. Thank you, Chedhead. Chris, half my body's inside my couch right now. Dougie, what was your... Dougie, that was our Twisted X Generation, bro. It's funny, bro, you might not know this, but half the guys who did Sunday morning Revolver Sunrise were kicked the shit out. Yep. Starting the biggest protest against the World Bank. This is all very true. I agree with all of what you're saying here, Tim. Doesn't mean letting your girlfriend get fucked by other blokes is a pat on the back. I think Nunes can't fight for 6 months. She has to enter the drug testing pool. Exactly. What's up, Justin? How are you, dude? Yeah, so Nunes has got to enter the pool. January is the hardest card of the year to fill. They're going to sell it to the girls by saying you guys are going to headline the card. It's going to be a super fight. Canada usually is the first card of the year because Canada is a soy country that just accepts shit cards. It all is just Nunes needs 6 months. It's just all making perfect sense to Dougie White. If I was in charge of the UFC, I'd be giving Canada Nunes versus Harrison in January and telling them you're blessed to have history. You're blessed to have history in Toronto. Canada is used to it, exactly. I'm just saying how it was and how it fucked up. Fair enough, dude. I get it. No. And you probably meant a bit more nuance than what you said there, but I'm saying if you think that, then we may need a refresher on the actual definition of impact. The fights aren't particularly close when you're actually looking for everything discussed in the definition. Oh, right. Yeah. Yes, I get what you're saying. When you're looking at the definition of impact in the scoring criteria of MMA, Merab is running away with the fights, right? Because he is draining away the opposing fighter's ability to want to implement what they want to do in their fight. Merab is doing that massively. However, with the tertiary quick reading of the scoring criteria of MMA, where it's, you know, cuts, bumps, bruises, big damaging shots, knockdowns. Merab isn't doing a lot of that, is he? So, depending on how deep you... And this is the problem with the scoring criteria of MMA. It's fucking vague. Super fucking vague. So, if you are just looking at it from like a casual fan's point of view, or if one of the judges aren't looking deeply to it, or if the judge has been sitting there for 8 hours and their mind is going a little bit out the window as well, then what Merab does make it look closer and closer and closer, right? Oh, I meant Superior's brother. What do you make of him? I don't make much of him right now, Showtime. I don't make much of him right now. I'm going to need to see more to like... Yeah, I need to see more to really have a opinion either way. I would like to see a rematch between Aljo and O'Malley at 145. There is story there. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the rematch there. Yeah. Why are you so hellbent on downplaying Cuckricks? That's gross. I think if the UFC goes to Amazon, Netflix, the January card is going to be sick. If they go there, yeah, I don't... But so, Chedhead, I've been following it pretty closely. Yes, if they do switch up to Amazon or Netflix, the first card of the year will be sick because they'll want to make a big impact. It seems like Amazon and Netflix aren't interested in the initial offer that the UFC is putting onto the table, which is $1 billion a year for 4 good pay-per-views throughout the entire year, and then 20 shitty Apex cards with some mid cards in between. Now, that's where the negotiations have gotten so far. From what it sounds like, Netflix and Amazon only want the big marquee events. They will pay the UFC an upfront figure for those big events. The Miami card, International Fight Week, UFC Abu Dhabi, and then the December-November card. They're the 4 big cards, 4 big pay-per-views every single year. They're quite happy to pay them a large sum of money for that, but then what does the UFC do with the other 80%, which is just slop, you know, and just for gambling addicts? Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to fucking pay for that? Who wants to pay for that? Also, it seems like Dana White and the UFC are hell-bent on keeping pay-per-view in place. And Amazon and Netflix, they don't want pay-per-view there. They don't want to add in more steps for their customers. Like with Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. They just want to have their customers sit down on the couch with the Netflix button on their remote, turn on Netflix, and there's the UFC and it's playing. They don't want fucking pay-per-view as well. So there's a lot of shit going on right now. And it seems like the UFC are going back to ESPN because ESPN are quite happy to just keep paying them for pay-per-view. But the UFC did a huge fucking rug pull on ESPN. When they signed the ESPN deal, Conor McGregor was still active and the Apex didn't exist, you know? So ESPN aren't very fucking happy with the UFC either. No one's really happy with what the UFC are offering them and the money they're asking for it in return. I was really thinking of picking Oliveira over to Puria, and MMA Che has made some great points. Unfortunately, I think Oliveira is getting dropped as inevitable, and I have a feeling Tapuria is going to get on top and sub him with an arm triangle while Charles is rocked. Yeah, this is the problem that I saw. I haven't seen Che's breakdown of it, and I'm surprised that MMA Che is picking against Oliveira, because MMA Che fucking loves Oliveira. Here's the problem, right? Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Islam Makhachev, everyone has landed a clean shot on Oliveira and fucking dropped him. And Oliveira chases them into his guard and is so good at jiu-jitsu that he can usually wrap up and, you know, get himself back into the fight. I don't think Ilia Topuria is going to be dumb enough to chase him down there. And Ilia Topuria has got this mythical jiu-jitsu that we heard about him happening, but we haven't really seen too much of. But it does imply that Ilia Topuria has got enough jiu-jitsu to survive being submitted. And if he can survive being submitted, then he's the one that's going to do the damage. MMA Che is picking Oliveira. He's making the case for Oliveira. Yeah, okay, fair enough then. Yeah, I don't see it going to Oliveira. I see it going to Tapuria. It's funny when it's about Dougie's ex Ian Gary, but it's top tier degeneracy. It is top tier degeneracy. What's up, Alex? Good to see you, man. I hope you're well, dude. Che is trusting that Charles will be in prime form and come out with a smart game plan, which is both very unlikely. I'm sorry, Che. I'm sorry, dude. Charles Oliveira is going to lose to Ilia Topuria. He's going to get... I don't know if he's going to get slept because the power difference is going to show at 155. Power doesn't really carry over that well. Well, power does carry over that well, actually. Conor McGregor knocked down Eddie Alvarez 3 times. He knocked down fucking Nate Diaz 3 times as well. Max Holloway just slept Gaethje. Che, I don't think Charles is going to get it done, brother. I'm sorry, mate. Which fighter currently frustrates you the most besides the Plague John? Frustrates me the most? Brendan Allen, Sean Brady, Imavov. These ones are very frustrating to me. Bryce Mitchell frustrates me. Bryce Mitchell frustrates me because I love Bryce, and I think he can be a great MMA fighter. But again, he's another one of these skinny boys that needs to put some muscle on. Don't move down, weight class, Bryce, and fight Saeed Nurmagomedov. Don't fucking do that. And stop training MMA. You are a top 10 fucking featherweight. You are a top 10. There's featherweight, lightweight, welterweight. These are the 3 hardest divisions in the UFC. You are a top 10 featherweight. You're a top 10 MMA athlete in the fucking world. Stop training in your fucking pig pen in your backyard. You inbred fuck, Bryce Mitchell. Go to the gym. Get proper fucking training. Your pig pen is not the correct gym for a top 10 world-class fucking athlete, Bryce. And do not fight Saeed Nurmagomedov, for fuck's sake. Put on some mass. Go to the gym. Lock in, cunt. If anyone wants to know what's Melbourne and Vic for those very reasons I stated above, so yep, troop this day, yep, troop. MHA is really good, but he's got a lot wrong as we all do. Yeah, because it's sport, you know what I mean? Like, we're not blank MMA robots that can just read a fight and not put our own love and care for these fighters into it, and our own hatred and our own bias and our own will to see someone lose. And MMA Che is the same, you know what I mean? MMA Che has great fucking reads. I actually want to talk to MMA Che about this kickboxing, boxing stance thing. I should reach out to him and see if he wants to do a collab and do a live discussion on it. Or maybe I'll just ask Che to do a breakdown on it, because I can't articulate it. I'm not the right MMA YouTuber for it. You need Mighty Mouse or Che to be able to do it, because they're the ones that understand movement the best. They get it. They can break it down properly, better than I can. I can't do it. I mean, Ilya is short and stocky. I think the power is going to carry over. Yeah, I think it might, actually. Yeah, I talked myself out of it there, Cayman. Yeah. I do agree, Che's main point that people are purely focusing on Charles' defense and Tapuria's offensive, while ignoring that Tapuria himself isn't defensively sound, but Ilya lands first 6 out of 10 times. I agree with that, Toad. Yep. Molly McCann sexually frustrates... No, Molly McCann does not sexually frustrate me in any way. I'd like to see Jonathan Martinez versus Mario Batista fight, but we're probably never going to see it. Jonathan Martinez. Let me put a face to the name. Oh, yeah! That'd be a sick fight. No, we probably won't. Jonathan Martinez, Tapology. Where is he at? Where are you at, Martinez? What are you doing? Where have you been? What's been going on with Martinez? I don't have the fucking Rolodex open in my head right now. 31. Lost to McGee. Just lost to Aldo. Yeah, he's too far down. Bautista would have to have a fall-off. Bautista would have to have a hell of a fall-off, and he'd have to have a second coming for them to meet up again in the rankings. It's possible at 31. It's possible for Martinez to have a second coming. He's 31. He's got till 34. 3 times a year. 3 times a year over the next 3 years. He's got 9 fights. He's got 9 fights left. It could happen, actually, dude. 9 fights is a lot can happen in 9 fights. You know what I mean? What's up, OTM? How are you, dude? I think Ilya's BJJ might be like Justin or Kelvin's wrestling. Never you. Yeah, I know. That's what I worry about Ilya's jiu-jitsu. Like, it's all well and good to talk about it when you were outside of the UFC, but it's time to start like getting your dick out and putting it on the table. It's time to start seeing what we're actually working with here. Che falls for the industry plants and the exciting fighters. It's part of being an MMA YouTuber, dude. You know, like saying that Sean O'Malley's going to beat Merab. It's part of, you know, building up the hype for the fights. I think Batista is good. He's maybe 5 or 6 wins away from being a title contender. I don't think so, Cheddarhead. Because we'll see how quickly Merab goes through the division. You know what I mean? Like, put this in your head, right? Merab fights Sandhagen, then Merab fights Umar too. Now we're looking for new contenders. Bautista just beat Jose Aldo and Patchy Mix. In 2 fights, Batista's the guy. Batista's the next guy to step in there. I was going to watch 2 hours of Charles Oliveira edits before 317. I bet $100 on him, and I hate myself when he loses. I'm going to watch 2 hours of Charles Oliveira edits before UFC 317. Then I'm going to bet $100 on him, and then I'm going to hate myself when he loses. The life cycle of an MMA fan. It's good stuff, isn't it? It was MMA Che that first alluded me to Bilal's mid-range. Yeah, no, dude, I like MMA Che. MMA Che is good. He's very good. I like him. I think he's a good bloke. Someone tell him to do a video breaking this down. The death of the kickboxing stance and the new meta of the tight boxing stance in MMA. Please tell Che to do that. Again, I've only got 2,000 subscribers. I'm not a big enough channel to get his attention. But you guys, the audience, can do it. Because 1,000 voices are louder than one tiny voice. So you guys get an MMA Che and tell him, Che, what do you think about this idea? I don't care if I get the credit for the idea of the new meta for striking. I don't care. I want to see a video of someone being able to break it down who can articulate the ideas better than I can. All right, let me punch through some of these. And Charles says he believes in the power of his hands and that he's taken lots of shots from Gaethje. The issue is Topuria does the little things right. He knows how to just take the steam off the punch. Yeah, Ilya's striking is a lot cleaner than Gaethje's. Ilya Topuria, so that he can press and fire his own combos. That's right, Eric. Ilya Topuria. And when Oliveira gets hit, there's no rolling. He gets hit flush by an accurate, powerful, sharp impact combo. It's not good for Oliveira. I completely agree. It's not good for Oliveira at fucking all. What's up, K-Dot? Good to see you, man. Charles doesn't actually sub anyone off the back. If Ilya drops him, we can 100% follow up on the ground. Yeah, you think Ilya... Yeah, I think Ilya can follow him up, but I think Ilya knows enough jiu-jitsu to stay safe, right? I went from 8 out of 9 on my parlay because of Patchy mix lost. I'm never betting on a Bellator PFL champ in their debut again. Patchy, Asakura, Chandler, the UFC is just a different level. Yes, Alex, it's a completely different level. Look how deep the featherweight division is. Look how deep the lightweight division is. Look how deep the welterweight division is. Look how many fucking... I just want you guys to look. Look at Mario Batista. Look at Ruffy. Look at Fluffy. Look at Fluffy Hernandez, right? Look at Fluffy Hernandez. Look at Mario Batista. What are some other good ones? Look at Ignacio Bahamondes. Look at the fucking shark tank of killers you need to go through. If you don't get the Peyton Talbot click, if you don't get the Bo Nickel click, if you do not get the push from the UFC that Sean O'Malley, Bo Nickel did, if you don't get that push that Gene Silver got, if you haven't got that push, then and you're an Ignacio Bahamondes, you're a Fluffy Hernandez, you're a Mario Batista, you have got to go through a fucking murderer's row, a murderer's fucking row, just to get fucking ranked, just to get ranked. And then look at someone like Gamrot, right? Once you are ranked, you still have to go through a fucking murderer's row of Ludovic Klein and Dan Hooker and shit. Just to have your name talked about. It's not the same as going to Bellator and going to PFL and getting a championship. The divisions in Bellator and PFL, they're just not as deep. It's not nearly as deep as the UFC divisions. The proper UFC, the bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight, the divisions are so fucking deep with so much talent. It's insane. It's a completely different level. You got fucking Charles Johnson just rolling around the fucking division, just killing cunts. And Patchy Mix wants to come in and be like, I'm looking past Bautista. It's dumb. It's dumb. The only person who can beat Merab now is Ricky Simon! Maybe. Ricky showed great power in his last one. Ricky's got wrestling. We'll see how Ricky goes rebuilding OTM. Excuse me. Oh, it's been an hour. We'll get out of here. We'll read the last of the chats and we'll get out of here. Tiny Paying Joe Pfeiffer should have worried less about getting the shits again from touching Kelvin. He could have gotten a finish in round 1. Tiny Paying Joe Pfeiffer should have worried less about getting the shits again from touching Kelvin. He could have gotten the finish in round... I think Kelvin's chin is just... When he doesn't have to cut the weight, I think Kelvin's chin is beautiful. There's more of a TJ... that's more of a TJ Loves Fights video. The breaking down the stances. Yeah, TJ does good work too. Yeah. K-Dot, he loves his personal training way too much as well. Yep. Asakura from Ryzen, but yeah, it's true. Yep. Peyton Talbot click. Dog, Rani Barcelos isn't a jobber. He used to take down Jose Aldo in training. He's an idiot because he didn't wrestle as much before a Talbot fight. True. That might have been a bad example. But you know the ones I'm talking about, K-Dot. You know the You know the ones I'm talking. I was just talking off the top of my head. You know, there's certain fighters like the O'Malley's, like the Pifers, like the Nichols. Well, maybe not so much the Pifer, but there's certain fighters. They get the Paddy Pimlet, K. Dot. You know what I mean? There's certain fighters, they don't have to go through the rankings that other people do. There are certain fighters that Umar Nurmagomedov, you know, didn't have to go. He got 4 fights when he got ranked, you know. Urseg from Australia, 4th fight in the UFC, got a title shot. But then there are other fighters, you know, like your Fluffies, like your Batistas, like your Ignacio Bahamondeses, that have to they have to go through it. They have to go through the real UFC. You know what I mean? They don't get the fucking gimme fights. They go through the real fucking UFC. The fights at the apex that no one fucking watches or cares about. Where we go, fuck, that was a scrap. And then we move on to the next one and no one even notices. And they're forged in a 6, 7, 8 fight win streak at the apex that no one even fucking sees. And then Patchy Mix comes in with a Bellator title that means fucking nothing to nobody. Charles Ovi's back is a pure myth. It's just not effective against top-level, modern, well-rounded fighters. I agree, Toad. I agree. Charles Ovi's back is a myth. Well, do I agree? It's hard to say. Here's the problem, Toad. I get what you're saying. Like, if you understand good defense, you'll live against Charles Oliveira. But this is where I have a problem with saying it's a myth. He's got the most submissions in UFC history. Like, you can't call that a myth, right, mate? The main reason is Bellator fighters are an era behind. They're doing one thing or the other, but they're not mixing it together like today's modern era UFC fight. Exactly. And you know why they're a step behind? Because they're not in that meat grinder of a proper competitive division. Like, we, and I do this all the time, we bag the Contender Series and Apex slop all the time. But there is something to be said about that meat grinder, where it's consistently, every year, there's new fighters coming into the division, and there's old vets working their way out of it. And it allows for a play. Like, all the fighters coming in through the Apex, they're new, they're all fresh, they're all new, they're doing new things. All the old ones are testing their shit there. The Bellators and the PFLs, they don't have that turnover like the UFC does. And then it creates like this... It just creates a completely different level of fighter. There is something to be said for the shit that churns in the Apex, especially in the solid divisions. Not so much for your women's bantamweights and your fat fucks at heavyweights, but for those core divisions where it's fucking deep, mate. It's deep. I'm telling you, Christian Grey, it's deep. The meat grinder is what it is, mate. Spectronominous. Peace out, Dougie. Peace out, Chris. We'll get out of here now. We'll get out of here. Cheddarhead's got the last one, and then I'll get out of here. Everyone stop typing. What's up, Spectronominous? Good to see you, dude. A year ago, I would not recognize myself saying that I'm glad Marab won. Fair, dude. Same, absolutely same, Spectronominous. I agree. The main reason is Bellator fight. We did that one. Dougie, you do. You are easily capable of breaking down. You're one of the 4-way there already, bro. The change is in full swing, mate. That is for sure. Yeah, I need to think about it more for the right way to articulate it. I'll come up with a way of doing it. Patchy Mix looked like he didn't realize he was in a fight until the 3rd round. I know, it was embarrassing, dude. It was embarrassing. Dustin is an old head. Molten fighters know enough counter jiu-jitsu where it just doesn't work. I kind of agree with Toad on this one. Yeah, I agree with Toad on this one. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Joshua Van is on a 4-5 win streak against guys who would murder Asakura like... That's what I'm saying, K-Dot. Yeah, K, you get what I'm saying, man. Yeah, it's just different, man. They're just different. The UFC is just different, man. It's just different. It's funny that you say like that, because I think it's the opposite, probably more articulate. I just didn't realize it till recently, so yeah. You said you're just watching it through a lens. Yeah, it depends on what lens you're looking at it through. Cool. Oh, Will, you're still here. Good to see you, man. Patchy needs to learn how to wrestle. He usually just comes in with a knee and somehow takes their back. Yeah, he's got to learn to mix it, which again, the Apex slop creates that, you know. The Apex slop creates that learning to mix it up, because you're in there against high-level competition all the time. Joshua Van's good. Joshua Van's really good. A casual or bored judge who's not fully paying attention, then you might miss that stuff in the full definition of impact, which I totally get, but I think it's actually a misconception. That comes from how hardcore fans we are trying to examine the fights on a more technical level. In reality, true casuals and people paying little attention either aren't seeing it in the fine technical aspects. It's true, mate. And it's because of the just how much it is described in there. They don't even know what to look for, so they're likely going to pick up on the vibes of the fight much more than just put stock into stuff like who is tired and mentally broken versus who is gassing out, getting it. Joshua Van is good. Even my friends could tell he was elite. Yeah, and that's why I brought that up in the break. I know I've got to get out of here. It's been an hour. I've got to get out of here. In the video that I did today, which is a wrap-up of UFC 316, watch Joshua Van's fight and watch Joe Pyfer's fight. Two developing fighters, right? Two developing fighters that were in there against someone tough. Joe Pyfer couldn't put Gastelum away with his big power hook, and his skills regressed because he ran out of tools in his tool belt. He didn't have more things to play with. You know, he just held out that fucking left hand and hoped that the right hand full of salt was going to land. Joshua Van was in there with a guy who similarly he couldn't put away. But as the fight went on, Joshua Van showed more levels of his game and showed more ways to adapt to the fight. Joshua Van is a true fucking prospect. Joe Pyfer is just a meathead with a big right hand. Joe Pyfer is not coming along the way an MMA fighter should be coming along. And if you're like, well, how should an MMA fighter be coming along? Joshua Van is that fucking guy. Joshua Van is coming along the way an MMA fighter should be coming along. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. It's insane what he's doing at his age. It was fucking insane. It'd be cool if they could sneak Aaron Pico into one of these cards in July. It would be, but I don't reckon we will, yeah. Yeah. I want Aaron Pico. Yeah. Joshua Van's really fucking cool. Don't get out. I gotta get out of here. You probably say something, well, I don't know how it actually scored, but it felt like Merab was beating him pretty bad. Imagine you had no idea the judging criteria is and you were just watching Merab fight Umar at the end of round 5. Someone asks you who you think won. You probably just say, I don't know how it's actually scored, but it feels like... it's like the vibe of the fight is what they're picking. Yep. Van's only been in the UFC, but he feels like a veteran already. It's so good. So good. All right, cool. Haven't seen the video yet. Watch it back. It's a good vid. Go watch it back. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good night. Before you get out of here, what is your top 65 flyweights of all time? Get the fuck out of here, Jedhead. See you guys. What's this? List off your top 65 flyweights ever. Real quick, Doug, before you get out of here. See you guys. Have a good one. Good on you, Jedhead. See you guys. See ya.